Hello and welcome back. Thanks for coming back. There's Aphrodite's Rock, so that must mean I must have got down in one piece. Please join me as we travel back along the coastal road from Aphrodite's Rock back to Paphos. Day man, you can take your heart out of your mouth. Luckily, Mr. Paul got down safely. Now, big shout out to some of the stars who like to come and watch the little show known as Marika and me. Now and again, if your name's Lord Julian and there's a honeymoon girl in your life, Lady Bridget, Merry Christmas to you. And of course, if your name's Sir Michael Crompton in downtown Llangollen, we hope you had a great time and we're wishing you a Merry Christmas and a very happy New Year. Now, this is the coastal road from, well, it's the old Pasuri Road, if you understand, from Pasuri to Paphos. And it's quite a nice little trek. If your name's Lord Andy and there's a Ness in your life and she's got Lady at the beginning of it, they like to hire a car or two and of course go on this little trek and feast their eyes and digest some of the beauty and some of the spectacality of the views along the way. You may have noticed one or two drops of rain are dropping onto the windshield. Could be a storm coming. I think so. They have forecasted a couple of days of rain and a little bit of wind. There's a man who now possibly is feeling sorry for himself on his motorbike. He's all leathered up and he's got a crash helmet on, but of course, let's wish him luck that he gets to wherever he's going before the heavens open. Otherwise, not very pleasant. Well, maybe he'll like it, I don't know, but I don't think so. We are in a BMW X3, luckily, so we're sitting that little bit higher, but to be honest, no disrespect to someone who's got a BMW X3, I don't really like them. I'm more into big luxury saloon cars like a Jaguar XJ. And again, if you're curious to know where it is, it's in the body shop and in the workshop. It's going to have a little bit of paintwork, a bit of correction to the paintwork, and we're going to give it a good all over check for winter. Take all the front suspension out, all the rear suspension out, take out half of the engine and make sure everything's all right, and then put it all back together. It's a quiet period through the Christmas period for most businesses, except if you've got a bar or a restaurant. So I thought I'd give the boys in the workshop something to do. So they're on top orders to keep all that grease off their hands from the interior and make sure that that car comes back in the new year riding better, going faster and looking better than it ever was before. That's Purdy, the black XJ, and she'll be cruising and boulevarding on the roads of downtown Paphos again in the new year, which of course is coming very soon indeed. Sit back and relax. We're slowly but surely heading back towards Paphos. First we'll go through Cuclia, then we'll go through Mandrea, and slowly but surely we will get to Paphos, Skipu. So sit back and enjoy the ride. And if your name's Lady, oh, so sweet Caroline. And of course there's Lord Nigel of the big guns in your life. We're wishing you a very Merry Christmas indeed. But get your bottom on a memory foam pillow. But just before you do, pour a tot or two, a gentleman's sour for the superstar Lord Nigel. Have a great Christmas, guys. We're missing you like crazy, but of course, next year is coming. Springtime, summertime, autumn time, soon be upon us. And all of these superstars will be back dancing the Chichudka in the downtown Kato Paphos Promenade and Harbour area. Now, if you like what you see, hit the like, click that subscribe. Doesn't cost you a single penny, by the way. I understand some people may think that if you hit the thumbs up button, it might cost you something. It doesn't. If you hit that subscribe button, guess what? It doesn't cost you a penny. All it does is tells YouTube that you like what you've seen, and perhaps they should recommend it to more like-minded superstars like yourself. Now, if you want to keep the channel afloat and you'd like to contribute to the channel, it's very simple indeed. All you have to do is Google these magic words. Buy me a coffee, Marika and me. Up will come our landing page, and you will be given the opportunity to read that a little bit more about us, and of course read some of the previous comments and the replies. And if you want a special video for you, gift us a couple of coffees and that video will be coming just for you. And of course you can also choose to join us as a superstar member on the Buy Me a Coffee platform at only €10 a month. That's all it costs to get yourself a special title, to get yourself closer to Marika and me. And of course, we are going to launch the Marika and me privilege card in March. And of course, you'll be getting one of those for free. What will it get you? Discounts in and around Paphos, in particular in Kato Paphos on the promenade and in the harbour. There'll be restaurants, there'll be bars, there'll be supermarkets, there'll be apartment complexes, and you never know, we might even have a word with one or two of the hotels. But one thing's for sure, you will save a couple of bob or two. The discounts will vary from 5 to 20%. Yes, so that's soon going to add up, even if there's only 2 of you. Imagine if there's 4 of you, and those littlies are buying ice creams and all those kind of things. Yeah, you're going to get some nice discounts. It'll be coming soon, the Marika and me privilege card, so don't forget to keep coming back to find out how you can get one, especially for you. Cucklia is to the right hand side. That's quite a nice little village. There's a little castle and an old church up in there. Again, lots of these places are on TripAdvisor. You can go and hunt them down, perhaps hire a car, or get in a taxi or a bus. The bus service is pretty good, by the way, in and around Paphos. And of course, if you want to go further than Paphos, all you've got to do is get in contact with our Viking Ronnie, and he'll always let you know exactly how much it is. And I tell you what, it's cheap as chips. If you want to go from Paphos to Limassol, it's about €4. Is that right, Ronnie? €7 return. And as he says, you haven't got to worry about parking. If you want to go to Nicosia, it's around about €13 return. Wow, what an absolute bargain. And the intercity buses are very, very good buses indeed. Ultra luxury is what they call them. And the Paphos local buses, those are the blue ones. Again, a very, very good service indeed. €1.50 per trip. And of course, you can go out to Coral Bay, Coralia Bay, and get on some great, great beaches. This is the main junction for Cucklia. If you turn up there, you go to Cucklia, and you can keep on wiggling and waggling up into the mountains if it takes you. And there are some great, great traditional tavernas up there, by the way. And that's where the prices are very, very reasonable indeed. Let's keep going. Next up is going to be the turn-in for Paphos Airport and Timmy Village. So if you're coming into Paphos Airport and you want to know the way to Paphos town, don't click off just yet. Stick with us for that little bit longer. Paphos is 16 kilometres, so in English money, that's around about 10 miles. So this video will last for about another 10 minutes or so, but it'll be packed with information and sights for you to come and see when you get on that big bird and land in downtown Paphos. Who's coming to town next, I wonder? Drop it in the comments. There's always someone in Paphos that watches the little channel known as Marika and me. If you want to get closer to us, drop it in the comments, and guess what? We'll come chuchka dancing down to the promenade and the harbour, especially for you. Let's sit down, chew the fat, smoke a Romeo and Juliet, and perhaps have a coffee or two. But certainly the rain is starting. They forecasted heavy rain for the afternoon, and I think it's just about to come that little bit early because it's just before 1 o'clock. So it's time to go for lunch. If you want some free electricity, that could be the place to wire up to. Paphos Airport is not far away. And like I say, Paphos Airport, if you're curious to know, if you're staying in one of the Beachside Hotels or an apartment complex in downtown Kato Paphos, it's going to take you around about 15 minutes by taxi and about 25 minutes by bus. And as I've said, the bus service is very, very good indeed. It goes every 20 minutes there and back. So you can't get much better than that, can you? Taxis, like anywhere in the world, be aware. Taxi drivers like to see that euro or that pound or that dollar on your forehead, and they try and judge their prices. So please negotiate the price before you get in the taxi. Currently, it's around about 25-30 euros to get from the airport to downtown Kato Paphos. If you go into Paya or further afield, they're going to charge you about 50 to 60 euros. Or perhaps book one online and agree the price, and of course it'll be that little bit cheaper. Or if you're a special superstar, why not contact Mr. Paul? And you never know, he may pick you up and transport you. You never know, especially if you're a Dane man. The rain's starting. Unusual sight, rain in Paphos. Most people associate Paphos with blazing sunshine, but don't worry, I'll bet you in a couple of hours the rains will pass and the sun will come back out. Again, they forecasted a bit of rain for tomorrow, but it doesn't last very long. Not like in Old Blighty, shall we say, where it's non-stop raining. Perhaps if you're in downtown Scotland, if your name's Cuz King James, you've got a queen called Queen Curry. And if you're a king and she's a queen, that must mean your daughter must be a princess. Very, very Merry Christmas to Princess Darlie. Just over yonder now, we'll go over this flyover bridge and we will be transessing past downtown Mandrea. If your name's Lady Tina, yep, and there's a George in your life, that's where you like to hang out. And now and again, you like to come to the Paphos Harbour and wine and dine in the Pelican restaurant, possibly the most famous and most popular restaurant in the whole of Paphos. And if ever you're looking for Marika and me, more often than not, that's where you're going to find us. Drop it in the comments. We'll be waiting there, especially for you. What's going on here, eh? What's wrong with your nose? Why is it sticking out into my carriageway? That's a good supermarket, by the way. Lots of people who live in Secret Valley, Aphrodite Hills, and of course Mandrea go there. It sells a massive array of products. If you're from England, Russia, wherever you may be from, I'm telling you, they've got those products waiting, especially for you. There's a man with blue lights flashing here. Who's he? Must be a good barrow. Looks like two plainclothes policemen. Must be going somewhere. Must be going off-roading. Perhaps they're looking for that nutcase making the YouTube videos. They're going the wrong way. We're now starting to approach the Kato Paphos airport, as you can see on the sign there. Just over yonder, if you take a left, 4 kilometres, so about 2.5 miles, and you'll be dancing in the main arrivals and departure area. Not the biggest airport in the world, which is a good thing. You can never get lost in Paphos Airport, but it's got all the facilities that you would want, and of course it's got aeroplanes that land and take off, especially for you. So take a left to Paphos Airport, or if you're coming out of that place, take a left, and you go towards Paphos. Paphos now is going to come up in less than 10 minutes, so don't click off just yet. Want to go and hunt us down on the Buy Me a Coffee platform, and that's where you can gift us that virtual coffee or two. And we'd like to thank some of the superstars that do. Lady Marika, thank you very, very much indeed, and we wish you a spectacality of a Christmas indeed, and we're looking forward to seeing you again in March, April. Of course, some other superstars in downtown Cornwall. If you're a Duke and you're a Duchess, who am I talking to? Yep, Phil and Sharon. We're looking forward to seeing you in May, and of course it's not that far away. Lights are flashing, that must mean there's a little camera van parked up waiting to take a picture of us as we go speeding. I don't think they care if you're smoking on a cigar, so let's get this Romeo and Juliet lit up, especially for Sir Martin, his beauty, Lady Victoria, and of course Sir Bernie, and of course Lady Jan in downtown Southend. We're wishing you a very, very Merry Christmas indeed. And of course, in downtown Dublin, Lord Derek Scully, while Ben is cooking up a surprise for his LaBouffe, we're wishing you a very, very Merry Christmas indeed. The speed limit on this road, it goes up and down, but in this section here, it's around about 65 kilometres an hour. So I'm travelling at 60 like most people are, because this little van here is desperately waiting to take a picture of you and then mail it in the post, and then you'll have an infringement on your plastic friend. What's coming up here? Shell. That's quite an unusual sight for a petrol station in Cyprus. Most of them are Petrolina and all those kind of names, but Shell, international brand, isn't it? How much are they charging for petrol? Let's have a quick look. If we're on diesel, 151.1. If you're on the normal stuff, it is 136.5. How does that compare to your fuel prices? Drop it in the comments and let us know. Is it cheaper in Cyprus? Is it dearer or not? Perhaps in Poland. What's the price? Lady Anna, my superstar, Dr. Thomas, and of course Sir Bart. We're wishing you a very, very Merry Christmas indeed. Not far to go, 8 kilometres, so about 5 miles at a nice leisurely pace, and we'll be kissing the cusp of Paphos, which is our final destination. And of course, if you're coming on a big bird, that's where you want to go to, because normally it's not drizzling with rain, it's blazing with sunshine. And there's always a few things for sure. The sky, yeah, well, it is a bit blue. The sea, it's a little bit blue. Mr. Paul, he's dressed head to toe in blue. Marika and me, we're waiting, especially for you. Let's get this cigar lit up, shall we? You enjoy the views. For those of you familiar with the channel, you understand that just after these trees that are coming up, we start our final ascent into Paphos. Shall we go straight to Yereskipu, or shall we go down towards the Rickos Beach area and the Hotel Road? Have a little think about it. Where would you like to go? Would you like to finish with a spectacality of a view indeed along one of the coastlines of Paphos, or would you like to go into downtown hectic Paphos? Of course, Christmas is just upon us, and of course there's lots of people whizzing around trying to get those last moment Christmas presents. Talking about last moment Christmas presents, I've got a special little gift for Miss Archie LaBeouf when she comes back. And no, it's not a rampant rabbit. I popped into the Neon Mall, as you know, if you follow the channel, but don't tell Marika, because I don't think she watches that often, so she won't know, and it'll be a little surprise when she gets back. It's something shiny, it's not that big, and it's in a little box, and it's waiting especially for her. Of course, we all understand that Marika is away. She's visiting her mother and her family in downtown Tbilisi, Georgia. Yesterday, to give you an update, she went out and bought a selfie stick, so guess what? Very, very shortly, she's going to be starting to make some little videos in and around Tbilisi. She's going to send them to me, and through the wizardry of editing, poorly, obviously, I'm going to slot them into some little Mr. Paul videos, so you'll get to hear the beauty. Singing and dancing, chatting away, laughing and giggling, and showing us some of the great views in downtown Tbilisi. Tbilisi, by the way, is an absolutely beautiful city, and it will take your breath away. I tell you what, let's take a left and let's head down to Kato Paphos, because that's where most people that are coming to Paphos want to go, isn't it? So perhaps if you've not been here before, this is the route all the way from Paphos Airport straight down to Rickos Beach, and then we're going to keep on going along towards the Hotels Road and towards the promenade area. See, slowly but surely, we're becoming an information channel. Surprising, isn't it? Yeah. Going to warn you now, these particular parts of the road, there's lots of little lay-bys and little areas where the boys in blue, girls in blue can park up, and guess what? They are waiting especially for you. What they don't like is speeding. They really, really don't like it. They like to have your seatbelt on as well. As for mobile phones, yeah, they're not too bothered about that as long as you drop it when you see them and lift your hand to say sorry. Normally they'll let you off, so it's not that strict in downtown Paphos. But speeding, they are very, very much on it, shall we say, and rightly so, because you shouldn't be whizzing around, especially tourist areas, doing more than 50-ish kilometres an hour. It allows you to do 20% over, so in a 50 you can do 60, in a 65 you can do about 75 kilometres. On the highway it's 100 officially, so you can do around 120 kilometres before they're going to stop you, so it's quite relaxed, shall we say. Now, you can see a bit of the blueness in the distance. If you look over the rooftops of the cars, there's a little opening in the fern trees, and that is the blue Mediterranean Sea. A little bit chopsy-mopsy, but still the spectacality of a view indeed. We're now joining the inner ring road, and this is a purpose-built road, so it bypasses Paphos town and takes you down to the Kato Paphos promenade, coastal and harbour area. So if you're renting a car, this is probably the best route for you to take, and then of course you get to miss the congestion of Yereskipu and the like. But again, keep your foot very lightly on the accelerator, because it is primarily a 65 kilometre zone, and now and again it drops down to 50. It also drops down to 30 kilometres around the roundabouts, but nobody cares about that, so stick to around about 60 kilometres an hour and you won't go far wrong, and you won't end up with an infringement on your credit card. In a little bit we're going to take a left and we're going to head down towards the Rickos Beach, and then we're going to take the old road and join the Kato Paphos Hotels Road, and of course end up in the promenade, and there's a little bit of big diggering going on in that area, but it is still accessible, and most people of course will be walking anyway. And of course there is a coastal pathway from the rear of all of the hotels that links you up to the promenade and to the harbour area. So we're not going to go straight now, we are going to take a left and we're going to join Rickos Beach. You're going to get a great view, and then we're going to transcend down towards the promenade and the harbour area. So don't click off just yet. Yetaskipu coastal area, to give it its correct name. It's called the Yetaskipu Municipality Beach. Rickos Beach, that's what it's called to us locals. Why is it called Rickos Beach? Because there is a bar called Rickos Beach Bar, and it opened up in around about 1976, and that was the first bar on the beach, hence the name Rickos Beach, and it's still going today, and it is one of the best beach bars on Rickos Beach. There's about 4 opened up now, and I think there's a new one opening up very soon indeed. And this is quite a good restaurant on the left hand side here, a little complex. It's closed at this time of year, but of course it opens up all the way through spring, autumn and into the early winter season, shall we say, because the winter season in downtown Paphos is not very long. There it is, that's Rickos Beach. Let's pause to let you get a great view. There's a little bit of chopsiness going on, as we can say, but it's still a great place to be. And if you're curious to know what the temperature is outside, it is 19.5 degrees. So if you're from downtown Northern Europe, don't forget to pack your shorts and your bikini. There we go. There's the brand new Thea Beach Bar. They've got toilets and changing rooms and shower rooms, and there's quite a few scattered along this beachfront now that have been improved over the last year or so. Rickos Beach Bar is coming up in the distance, and there are 1 or 2 people parked up and 1 or 2 people walking and digesting the views and the spectacality of that blueness of the blue Mediterranean Sea. All that's missing is you. So come on, get yourself on a big bird or a canoe, start paddling like crazy. Paphos Cyprus, guess what? We're all waiting, especially for you. That's the Rickos Beach Bar. Obviously it's closed now because literally it is Christmas, but in around early March it'll be open up again, and of course the sun will be shining. There'll be an awful lot of blueness going on, and a lot of people will be supping on a pint or 2. Let's take a left. We don't want to go off-roading today. And slowly but surely, we are going to join the Pasodonis Avenue, or as we call it, the Hotels Road. So if you're in a beachside hotel in downtown Kato Paphos, this is the road just for you. There's also a villa complex over there, so perhaps if you want to buy one or rent one, that could be the great place for you. It sits again on the cusp of the blue Mediterranean Sea, and again along the cusp of the Mediterranean Sea here there are quite a few water sports centres. There's the TAS one just down here to the rear of the Louis Vuitton Beach Hotel. That's what this hotel is here. Of course this is a special hotel in the hearts and the minds of Lady Anna Marie, and of course her man Sir Michael, and of course their Princess Kylie. That's where they got married, and if you want to watch that live, don't forget to hunt down Anne-Marie and Michael getting married on the little channel known as Marika and Me. This is now the Pioneer Beach Hotel, a very popular hotel indeed, and then next door to that are hotel after hotel after hotel, and of course they all sit on the cusp of the blue Mediterranean Sea. That's the Asimir Suites Hotel, and if I remember rightly, Our Lady Lubika many years ago worked there, and she loved that hotel so much that she keeps on coming back to Paphos, and we've been waiting for you. Well indeed. Aquamari, very popular hotel indeed. Lady Andrea and of course Sir Mart stayed there. The Iva Mari Hotel's coming up, and of course this one now coming up is the Leonardo Cypria Bay Hotel, one of the favourite hotels with Lady Tracy and of course Sir Justin in downtown Warrington. Of course we wish you a very Merry Christmas indeed. Coming up next, the Leonardo Plaza Cypria Maris, and of course that's where Sir Martin and his girl Lady Victoria booked into, and of course not that long ago, if your name's Sir Tony and there's a beauty in your life called Lady Gosha, yeah, that's where you were booked into, and they'll be coming again soon. This is the Athena Beach Hotel. Lots of people like that hotel, there's no doubt about that. I think Harold and Pat are in there as we speak. Drop it in the comments, and guess what, we may come and accost you. That's the Athena Royal Beach Hotel next door to it, and now we're into the sort of main area of restaurants and bars. There's one or two hotels going to still come up, and we're going to get to the promenade very, very soon indeed, so don't click off just yet. It could be that hotel that you're waiting for, and if you want a great breakfast on the way to the promenade, there's tea for two, and if you miss that one, don't worry, just as you get to the start of the promenade, there's another tea for two waiting just for you. If you like luxury in your life, on the left hand side now is the Olympic Lagoon 5-star luxury hotel. That's about 15-minute walk to the promenade, just to give you a reference point. Now it's the Ampura Resort. That's a beachside resort. All the apartments have got great sea views, and of course next door to that is coming up the Amarvi 5-star luxury hotel. If your name's Lady Rachel, and of course there's a Cheshire Cat brooding man, Sir Jason, well, that's your favourite hotel, and it sits on the cusp of the blue Mediterranean Sea. And next door to that, Dayman, start dancing. Lady Ness, start dancing. Lady, oh, so sweet Caroline, come on, let's dance the Tonga. The Alexander the Great, it's coming up, especially for you. And Alex is on his horse, waiting for you to ride the living daylights out of him. The next one is the Almira 5-star luxury hotel. That's coming up on the left. And now we're almost at the downtown Kato Paphos promenade. But there are two more hotels to come up, so don't click off just yet, because the Annabelle 5-star luxury hotel is coming up on the left, literally now. Forgive the road surfaces, by the way, and forgive all the big diggering. It'll be getting better, certainly by the spring of next year. And then just over in the distance, you can just see it hiding behind the palm trees, is the Dionysus Central Hotel. And of course, that's where Lady Andrea and of course Sir Mark will be checking into in February, and of course Sir Martin and of course his beauty, Lady Victoria, will be checking in. And guess what? We'll go get a pork chop or two in the Royal Restaurant and we'll put it on your room. Why not? Downtown Kato Paphos, perhaps not at its very, very best. There's a downtown Kato Paphos. Well, what can I say? The promenade looks nice, and to be honest, there's quite a few people walking along it. So if you like what you see, hit the like, click that subscribe, and don't forget to keep coming back for a little bit more of our complete and utter madness. And don't forget to keep the channel afloat by hunting us down on the Buy Me a Coffee platform and keep us nourished, especially in these chilly times in downtown Paphos. We'll keep you abreast of all the big digging that's going on, don't worry. And we're now heading out towards Bar Street, so don't click off just yet. Why is everyone going slow? That's what I want to know. Come on, let's get going. We're in a big hurry, you know. Christmas is coming. This is the main entrance, by the way, on the right hand side to the Dionysus Central Hotel, and there's their new restaurant on the block, the Roast and Grill Corner. We'll be going in there very, very soon and making a special video just for you. Restaurant after restaurant, and if you like a bit of Indian in your life, perhaps if your name's Shady Tree and there's a shady girl in your life, that's the Deli Gate. And of course, if your name's Mr. Craig and there's a Lady Lisa in your life, look at that. That's the Alcyon Taverna, your favourite restaurant in downtown Paphos. Bar Street, and it's closed. But it'll be all ready for all of the superstars, kicking off from around about the beginning of March. Thanks for watching, and of course I'll see you again very, very soon, somewhere in and around Paphos. Gridlock traffic, what's going on in the world? Must be Christmas. slightly dishevelled bar street. But don't worry, it'll get better, I promise you. There's developments going on, like here on the right hand side, Blue Island. They're going to transform these buildings into some luxury apartment complexes, and the odd restaurant and the odd shop or two. So don't forget to keep coming back again and again to the little channel known as Marika and me. The Keg and Barrel's coming up, and then right in front of that will be the best fish and chip shop in the world. You can dine in or take away. TJ's Fish and Chip is waiting especially for you, except on a Sunday because it's closed. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again very, very soon indeed.